I'm a firm believer in getting the first screw up done quickly. Just rip the Band-Aid off, fat finger the button on my machine, and play a bumper instead of the open. Go team.
I'm with you. I mean, if it's going to happen, get it out of the way in the first 5 seconds.
Because once again, we have cracked the code of entertainment. Not everyone has, but we here in the Treehouse cracked that code many years ago, and that is to set the bar and expectations so low it is impossible not to go beyond it.
I just loved how you did it. We rehearsed it 4 times, and you were so proud of yourself.
And I still hit the wrong goddamn button. That's all right. That's all right. We are here.
Mm-hmm.
It is time to leave your worries outside. And join me, Dan O'Malley, Trey Trenholm, and Raj Sharma inside this here Treehouse. Let's get stupid. Super Bowl 58 was last night. And since I am 2 hours ahead of DFW time, I didn't go to bed till after 1 because those a-holes couldn't decide to score enough touchdowns during regulation. They had to wait for extra time to do it. But overall, I'd say that was a really good game as long as you don't mind not a ton of scoring. Some other highlights for me, though. What is it, Trey?
I didn't get to see a lot of the, especially I saw all of the overtime. I didn't get to see a lot of the game because of work, but it seemed to like it kind of started off good, and then it had a nice dead spot for a couple quarters, and then fourth quarter seemed to pick up.
I'd say that's a very accurate assessment, a dead spot. And that was the good time that we had to go back for seconds at the buffet we had set up at our house last night. We had a few neighbors over. Even though it's pitch black at night, there are neighbors of ours here in the moist forest on Bordeaux Mountain of St. John, USVI. They are our moist forest neighbors. And they ventured out into the night with crock pots and booze into our home, and we watched football like goddamn Americans.
That's very sweet that you're still carrying that on over there. That's very cool.
It was actually one of our first times to do any sort of entertaining here. So that was fun for us. Plus, it gave us an excuse to make a bunch of food that we wouldn't otherwise eat, let alone in those quantities.
What did you have?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We had a little bit of everything. And
I'm going to guess there was nothing low fat on the menu.
No.
Yeah.
It's Super Bowl Sunday. You take all the low fat, all the calorie counting, all that nonsense, and you throw that out the window. Kind of like the way I'm sure Jerry Jones wants to do with his children once a day. Especially after watching the Super Bowl. Now, there were a bunch of things I noticed last night. It's difficult not to whenever the Super Bowl happens. It's one of those rare days where you can turn on the TV and just kind of let it go most of the day, and there's various things throughout the day when they start the broadcast. But one of the first things that stood out to me was J.J. Watt's adventurous new hairstyle.
Mm-hmm.
And by new, I mean it looked really good on the side of a Kiss FM wrapped vehicle on Kid Craddock's head circa 1999. I mean, I have not seen frosted tips that gorgeous, I think, since the Backstreet Boys.
I have to give you a little insight on me. I did the frosted tips in college.
Oh,
yeah. And blue contacts.
Wow. So you went through a white phase.
I did.
Trey and I can't do that.
No.
I mean, we're constantly in a white phase. I'm saying we can't do the opposite.
Yeah, I was like, you guys just call it a phase. But yeah, so when I saw that, I was like, oh, I did that in 96.
I did like his tweet after the game. He threw out there, he's like, sometimes you try to you want to do something new with your hair and wonder if anybody will notice. They do. Some of the commercials that to me, I didn't see every single one of them because I was going back and forth, to the food table and talking with some people here and there. But some of the commercials that stood out to me, that some of my favorites, the Arnold State Farm,
Mhm.
the Dunkings with the cameos by Matt Damon and Tom Brady. I think I counted 3 separate
Yeah.
Super Bowl commercials he was in, like 3 completely separate,
Mhm.
ads, different companies. And so it's like he went from Super Bowl winning quarterback to Super Bowl commercial quarterback, which is obviously good for him.
Mhm.
Another one of my favorites, partially because Raj does my favorite Christopher Walken impersonation, was Christopher Walken's BMW commercial, where everyone does their impersonation of him to him,
Yes.
which I'm afraid to think is probably based in a lot of reality, and that makes me feel bad for that old man.
That was my favorite of all. I was like, that's so brilliant. Whoever came up with that was obvious, is either a comic or knows a comic that does the impression. And
I
the
wouldn't put it past Walken to come up with that himself.
yeah, that I
Because
mean,
I can just hear him. I can hear him talking, in the pitch saying, "Well, I've got an idea." Of course, I
Yeah.
don't do it, so I sound terrible. But
and the Ben Affleck commercial, just so I don't know what everybody gets paid. Like you were talking about the cameos with Matt Damon, Tom Brady, Jennifer Lopez was obviously in that one, but Affleck got 10 million for that commercial.
for the spot or the entire endorsement campaign, because this started pre-Super Bowl.
For the spot.
We got to get famous, guys.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Doing this is fun, but it doesn't pay as well as $10 million 30-second Dunkin' Donuts ad with your wife and friends.
Yeah. I saw that, I think like a couple hours before. It's watch out for the Dunkings commercial, because Affleck got paid 10 million. And then it didn't say who the other cameos were going to be. So I don't know how much those guys got just for doing that.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how much J-Lo got for her cut of that spot.
Yeah,
Because I would think her cred, her star power could command a higher salary than him.
Yes, 100%.
Some other things, obviously, the Usher halftime show
Mhm.
also had a dead spot, which was most of it. But I
What?
tell you,
What?
oh, it was dead in the middle. We'll go back to that. Don't worry, we'll go back to that. You guys obviously loved it.
Thought it was great.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You know what's good to have on a Monday? Conflict. Let's just beat the hell out of each other. We also learned last night that Dez caught it back in 2014. Because I think I can't remember if it was third or fourth quarter. The 49ers receiver catches the ball on the sideline, takes 2 steps. The ball pops out when he hits the ground while making a football move, and the official comes in on CBS during the broadcast and says, "That is a catch. He made the move, blah, blah, blah." And all Cowboys fans around the world stood up and said, "Aha."
Mm-hmm.
We're still mad about it. And even Dez tweeted out, "That's not a catch."
I like the snark.
Yeah.
Well done.
And I'd also like to point out, during the game last night, we saw one of the greatest comebacks ever. Not the Chiefs coming back against the 49ers, but the ad for Deadpool 3, Deadpool versus Deadpool and Wolverine,
Mhm.
single-handedly resurrected the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marvel Jesus.
Resurrected by the one movie they really didn't want to make.
Yeah.
I mean, it started out pretty strong when you've got the guys with the sticks, and he says, whoa, friendo, pegging may not be new to me, but it is for Disney. And then he looks at the screen. So I'm those are a bunch of my highlights.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Dog. There's somebody at the door. Sorry.
That's okay. Tell everyone the dog's name, Raj, because we got people watching.
Well, that's Sam barking, and then Reese's is right here. So that's sweet boy. That's sweet boy Sam, who's not being so sweet right now, and then pretty boy Reese. Hey,
well, he's protecting you.
Yes, or he wants to kill.
Or maybe he's mad at me because I was not a huge fan of the Usher halftime show.
I think that's what it was.
So let me defend myself before you two jump my ballsack on this. It wasn't good until like the last, 5 minutes or so, because most of the songs I didn't really recognize, or they were slowed down or done in a mix that I didn't completely understand. And I didn't like the fact that it felt like Usher was trying to have sex with everyone watching at the same time, which, don't get me wrong, I appreciate shooting your shot, but
That's not shooting. When you could actually do it, that's not just shooting the shot. That's flaunting it.
Yeah.
Because I got news for you. I was working last night at Standard Poor, and when he took his shirt off,
Yeah.
every middle-aged woman in the restaurant started screaming. I mean, damn.
Yeah.
I loved one of the things I saw last night afterwards. It was last year's Super Bowl halftime. We saw Rihanna pregnant, and this year's Super Bowl halftime, Usher got everybody pregnant.
Yeah, I was at Tower Club watching the game, and the same thing happened when he popped on screen. It was great. People were very, very excited. But when the shirt came off, every woman in there and a couple of guys started screaming as well. And I was like, okay. And a buddy of mine who's very fit, who's sitting there in his tight t-shirt, goes, I look like that too. He yelled that out.
No, you don't. And even if you do, Usher's got a few legs up on you. And I didn't mean that pun.
Unless you can do it on roller skates too, sit down and shut up.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you. So I have two very distinct thoughts on the roller skates. First of all, I find it entirely unfair for any human to be that good looking, can sing, and can dance better than pretty much everybody on the planet. And on top of that, you have to be so arrogant as to be good at roller skating. Come on. That's not fair. And to make things worse, I'm still trying to figure out how the hell it was he switched out of the roller skates back into sneakers in a matter of seconds. I'm still wearing skates from the 7th grade. They've never come off.
I think they were just attachments. I think that was the thing for a while back in the 90s where they would just attach the to the shoes that you wore. You could just have. Well,
that's not a new thing. That was how I don't know if they started that way, but they were the skates that they just went to the bottom of your shoe and you strapped them around your shoe.
Yeah, they're like crampons for mountain climbing, basically.
Gotcha. But Tone Bell is one of those guys that skates just that well and can act and dance and is very good looking. So if you ever want to talk to him about it, he has videos out of him roller skating. It's really good.
Is he wearing anything besides the skates?
Yes. I mean, he's not shirtless, but that was, but here's the comic in me. I kept going, fall, please fall. Please fall. And then he slides through, I can't remember whose legs he slid through, and then he goes to stand up and he slips. And that made my halftime show.
Speaking of people slipping, did you see the girl on the stripper pole fall?
No.
There was next to when Ludacris comes out and the place goes crazy. So when Ludacris and Little John come out, that was my favorite. Yeah. Once Usher started playing the hit that everybody knows and was waiting for, then I was in for it. That part I absolutely loved. And during that part, there were two really weird mishaps. One was, and you can find this online. I'll try to find it for you, and I'll see if I can show it. When you're looking at Ludacris, over off of his right shoulder, there's a girl on a stripper pole, and she's almost all the way up, and you see her, you see her butt and her legs are wrapped around it, and then out of nowhere, whoom, just down she goes, and that was not planned.
It's not one of those stripper moves where they go like all the way down on the pole and then stop.
I don't think there's a stripper move called thud.
Gravity.
Yeah, I don't think there's I don't think, like, I don't remember the scene in Flashdance where she learned to splat. The other one was during the Little John part, and everyone's bouncing up and down. And he's like, "Get down for what?" People are jumping up and down with their hands up, and out of nowhere, there's a guy in the back of the crowd that gets shot up into the air. I don't know how. And then he just comes right back down. And of course, the thing that everyone who saw this is thinking is that guy okay?
Yes. So there was there were two or three people. So you saw that guy go up, and then I guess they just didn't plan it right. So they had to pull the camera back because there was two guys that go over into it looks like they're going into the crowd, but they just pop up. So it was planned.
Oh, I know it was planned because here you have an array of performers,
Mhm.
And unless I'm wrong, they were all performers of color.
Mhm.
And the one guy that I see get tossed in the crowd is a white dude.
He's the only guy that would go, "Hey, so here's who wants to do the where we shoot you straight into the air?" And every person of color just turned to the white guy. And was like, he'll do it.
Yeah, he's probably eating his sandwich, going like, yeah,
I'll do it. Yeah. We're like, you're gonna shoot me into the air? I'm
Yeah.
good. Like, we like it down here. We're on roller skates. We're good.
It's like whatever the Super Bowl was when it was Katy Perry and you had Left Shark that sort of stole the show
Yes.
because Left Shark didn't know the moves. In this one, this performance had layers. You had skates, you had nipples, you had
Mhm.
a white dude being tossed up in the crowd, and instead of Left Shark, you had left pole or left stripper falling off her pole.
Yeah. So I don't understand where's the dead spot for you? Is it just because the
All the
opening?
fun stuff happened once he played the hit. Like when
Oh,
the
they were all
skate thing
hits.
happened, so it was like a slow build, and it was like, it's okay. It sort of felt like it felt like slow jam. It felt like slow jam in the Super Bowl halftime show for the first, I don't know, 10 minutes.
So it's just the songs that you don't know.
Yes.
That
I'm
was
sorry, but
just-
when you're that
that's
big of
the
an
diss.
act and you play the Super Bowl, it's
Mhm.
like going to see any act you've known for 20, 30 years. You want them, when you go to see them in concert, you want to see them play your favorite songs, not the crap off the new album.
But there was nothing often new. They were all the hits. Like everybody in that tower, like I'm not even making this up. Everybody was singing along to every song.
And and you know what? That may be very much kind of a generation because they're the 5 years in between. You know, Dan, Raj, and I are basically 5 years older than you, and
Yeah.
and that may be that prime, that window where Usher was in his prime. Because I'm with Raj. Everything he played was a hit, a huge hit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. They were all smashed, like chart topping songs that he played. He just closed with the big one with the surprise appearances by Ludacris and Lil Jon, Jermaine Dupri, and all that.
Well,
So
that one out, those guys coming in didn't surprise me because they were on that song. Those are the kind of those are the cameos I was kind of not only hoping for, but I was expecting.
yeah, and then Alicia Keys, which at the end I was like, and she's married to Swiss Beats, and I was like, and then I saw them, and I was like, oh, maybe she's not anymore. I don't know what's happening.
Thank you for bringing that up because I
Yeah.
was wondering if Alicia Keys was about to get pregnant over that piano.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she did. I don't know what
'Cause
happened.
that
I'm like,
piano didn't look as much like a piano as it did. Like it just needed to start vibrating and spinning.
they just put a quarter in it and it starts, starts shaking.
Now that's a halftime show. Like seriously, if you want the Parents Television Council to be really pissed off, you think they were mad about a nipple back in 2000 whatever with Janet Jackson? Why do you
Yeah.
see a baby get made on the 50-yard line?
Yeah, I'm sure all the calls went in from that and the strippers and but Justin Bieber apparently was supposed to be on the show, but
Was he the one that was being tossed in the crowd?
No, he declined last minute. He showed up in Vegas with his pastor, and his pastor, as they were going to their bus, was blessing. They phrased it something like removing all the sin from Sin City as he walked to his bus. So I think that's why there was going to be strippers and all
Okay,
that
well,
happening.
just hearing that, I'm thinking that maybe he actually was the dude being tossed around in the crowd, or maybe it was his pastor.
That the pastor's a new Cirque du Soleil guy.
Yeah, you had no idea how they got new performers, did you?
What Raj said, though, it makes you realize celebrities can't have that. A lot of couples have that list of the freebie. If I saw this person, it's not cheating. I'm allowed. If you're a celebrity, you can't do that because if you're Swiss Beats,
Yeah,
you just you just have to sit back and watch.
Yeah, there's nothing like being cucked in front of 100 million people.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This week at the Dallas Comedy Club in Deep Ellum, you've probably seen one of his videos with over 1.5 million views. And after selling out last time, David Nihill is back with his new show, Shelf Help.
Irish people, we never did it. And it's a fairly unique group of white people in history where you're like, well, what did they do? We're like, nothing. We're good, actually. And you might correctly say, well, didn't you blow up some British people? And we'll be like, yeah, but historically, who hasn't wanted to do that?
That's David Nihill this Friday and Saturday, February 16th and 17th at the Dallas Comedy Club. For tickets, go to dallas-comedyclub.com. That's dallas-comedyclub.com. Your new home for comedy in DFW is the Dallas Comedy Club. Funny happens here.
Let's get Carrie Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration into the Treehouse now. You can give her a call for your free roof inspection at 833-COOK-DFW, the website, cookdfw.com. Carrie, do you know what the Fort Worth Zoo is doing for Valentine's Day this year?
I have not heard.
They will let you dedicate poo to your ex this Valentine's Day. For a mere $10, they will symbolically dedicate a pound of zoo poo in the name of whomever you would like.
That's an interesting twist on Valentine's Day.
It is. Usually zoos will be like, oh, you can name a cockroach or whatever after your ex that you can't stand. Going the poo route is bold.
Absolutely.
A pound of monkey poo was
named.
Well,
I wonder if it's certified monkey poo and they tell you who it came from.
I don't think it should happen, but just in case you get some pound of poo that falls through your roof around Valentine's Day, give Carrie and Daniel a call at Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. That phone number is, of course, 833-COOK-DFW, the website, cookdfw.com.
It's the Treehouse. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment... I forgot to mention that there might be a special appearance in the Treehouse today by Trey's dog, Daisy, the 3-pound... Jesus Christ, that tongue. 3-pound Chihuahua Daisy and her tongue. I feel like if she was a stand-up act, Raj, would Daisy be the headliner or would the tongue be the headliner and Daisy feature?
Oh, the tongue is the headliner.
That's kind of what I
for sure.
This segment of the Treehouse is, in fact, brought to you by our friends at Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. For your free roof inspection, give Daniel and or Carrie Cook a call, 833-COOK-DFW, or the website, cookdfw.com. Also, the first segment brought to you by the Dallas Comedy Club, very fittingly. 5 nights of comedy every week at the Dallas Comedy Club, your new home for funny in DFW, in the safe corner of Deep Ellum. For ticket info, special events, classes, all the great stuff they have going on at the Dallas Comedy Club, just go to dallas-comedyclub.com. That's dallas-comedyclub.com. So back to the halftime show. And then, coming up in today's show, by the way, I finally finished a new Dando. And by the time you hear it, it will finish you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm. My hopes are high on this one, so I hope you enjoy it when I play it. That'll probably be coming up here in just a few minutes. But first, I was curious: is it just because you guys recognized all the songs that Usher did at halftime, and that makes me a square for not really recognizing the other stuff? And where does this one rank as far as all-time halftime performances?
I don't think anybody's said square since 57, but it just it makes you.
That's not true. Square pegs in the 80s. It was a TV show.
Okay, gotcha.
Thanks, Trey.
No, it's just you didn't recognize the songs. That's why it was the club hit because that's probably
but even then. But I look at it this way: even if I didn't recognize the hits, then I would have. If they were hits, then they would have been catchy enough to me to be like, "Hey, this is a cool song. I haven't heard this, but I like it." And I was kind of like, meh.
Yeah, I mean, it's you didn't recognize them. They were all hits. Was the big club hit for like 2 years. So
Yeah.
I mean that's and everybody knew the words and the dance moves and all that stuff. For me, I'd put it in the top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
So give me quickly your top 5.
Prince, Purple Rain, In the Rain. Then Michael Jackson. And then I don't know. I'm trying to think of the other.
Steely Dan.
Yes, of course. Who didn't love them?
I still remember when they announced that that year that at the Super Bowl, that was in the wake of the Janet Jackson stuff. So they were trying to be as safe as possible. It's like, okay, you've overcorrected with Steely Dan.
Yeah, I mean, the Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake one was great, and then I don't know, Aerosmith, NSYNC, Britney Spears, kind of just with the star power.
Yeah.
And then
I like that one because I'm a huge Aerosmith fan. But
yeah, and so now Usher.
Trey, what about you?
Prince will always be the number one. I don't think anyone will ever touch that. I would definitely put Usher. I would say probably top 3. Off the top of my head, Beyonce, Justin Timberlake's halftime I thought was excellent. And the Janet Jackson, even though all the crap it caused, that was actually a good show. And just to throw out my whiteness, Coldplay was actually pretty good.
but I was feeling like you needed to throw it out.
Yeah,
if they could have just combined Coldplay with Steely Dan, that'd be the whitest halftime show.
Oh. I will tell you. Listen, I will say this, and I Michael Jackson was always one of my best shows I ever saw when I saw him in the Victory Tour. But Coldplay puts on one of the top shows I've ever seen in my life.
I've never been to a Coldplay concert, but I've seen clips, and those clips are extremely impressive.
It is, and going to the concert, it looks like their videos. I mean, it's very interactive, and they're at a point they just play they play hits from start to finish. They don't even have new music. They just play the hits.
Yeah,
which is all I want.
Yes. But no, I think that the Prince. I mean, I don't even know how you that's one of those miracle moments. It starts raining, and then he's like, "Oh, okay, I think we play Purple Rain here."
Well, that's like they did a documentary on that, and one of the parts of it was how the producer is talking about how wake up and it's pouring down rain, and then they call Prince, and
I did not do this.
And they're like, it's raining, and he's like, yeah. He goes, can you make it rain harder? And they're like, all right, well, I guess we're gonna be okay, because you remember that stage was like acrylic glass.
Yeah,
and all of them. I mean, Prince always wore heels or platform shoes, but those dancers were in 7-inch heels. Yeah, and it was no problems.
Yeah, Prince wore 6-inch heels all the time.
You know why they didn't have any issues slipping on that stage, Trey? Because cream is not as slippery as water.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, that was that. I don't. You can't ever have another moment like that. That was.
I have a difficult time with my memory in general, but and because of that, I have a difficult time remembering all the Super Bowl halftime shows. I'd have to go back through and watch clips of them to truly remind myself. But the Prince one is one I don't need. That to me is iconic. But when you get a little man like that in the rain, it's moments like that where I don't know what's necessarily true in the world when it comes to religion and God and all these types of things. But that's one of those moments where you could use as a really good example. It'd be like Prince, Super Bowl halftime, Purple Rain, In the Rain, seems pretty divine.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm convinced of this. Michael Jackson and Prince were of that ilk where they can go, I would like for it to rain now, and then weather happens. Like they listen. the universe listens to Prince when he says, "I'm about to play Purple Rain, and it needs to rain now."
Oh, you know what it was? It wasn't necessarily that it started raining. It was because Prince said, "I'm going to play Purple Rain now," and Mother Nature came. I don't know about you, but this feels like a natural time to introduce you to the brand new Dando in the Treehouse.
All right.
Raj, you've been in and out of the Treehouse for many years. Trey was a part of it for many years, like I was, and because I have such a poor memory, I don't necessarily remember exactly how these started in the first place. I tried to find the drop that we got from. I'm brain farting now because my memory is so terrible. The Jackal's lead singer, Trey.
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. We had him on the show a number of times over the years, had him at trash parties, and he came in the studio one time and Russ got him to sort of sing or / scream Pretty Little Dan, because Russ liked to give me a hard time saying, "No, you're pretty," and whatever. Like, no, I'm not. And stop hitting on me, you weird old man. And it sort of took on a life of its own. Next thing you know,
Jesse James Dupree.
thank you. I knew it was a 3 name that wasn't a serial killer, but only serial killer names were coming to mind. And I knew it wasn't John Wayne Gacy we had in the studio, because I'd remember that. Especially if he was saying my name loudly.
Dressed like a clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a whole new. That'd be a whole new line of Dandos.
Those are Dandos I do not want to produce.
Those are basement
those are
Dandos.
Those are snuff Dandos. No. So it started with that, and the next thing you know, we write up these things for adult toys from Pretty Little Dan Incorporated, called the Dando instead of a dildo, and these things, that have a weird way of being born on the show, and they just kind of stick, and then after a while, you kind of forget how they started, but you keep it going because it's fun, and ultimately stupid. So if I can make this work. This, by the way, will be, I'm hoping not the only time we ever get a chance to play this, but I do have what I think is a semi-binding legal disclaimer embedded in here, so as to not get us sued by the Dallas Cowboys.
Nice.
But just in case, you're going to hear it now, and then after this, I don't know if we're going to get a CND from Frisco or not, but if we do, you get to enjoy it now. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
No, you're not.
Dallas Cowboys fans, it's time to ask yourselves a rock-hard question. Why stop at getting emotionally destroyed when you can get physically wrecked by dem boys? After a John Holmes-sized break, Pretty Little Dan Incorporated is back. And just like the back of the Bang bus, we are not alone. We have an exciting announcement. PLD Inc. is the very unofficial, totally unsanctioned, extremely unsanitary dildo company of the Dallas Cowboys. That's right. We're expanding into the sports world because why should Taylor Swift and Oscar the Grouch have all the fun when the Cowboys were on the trash heap first? So slip into your favorite Debbie Does Dallas cosplay fit. Invite 31 strangers over wearing their official NFL team GIMP gear and brace yourself for a worse ass reaming than the Bills gave the Cowboys in Week 15. Introducing the Cowboys Dando. With the all-new Cowboys Dando, you're part of the action. Hear Dak Prescott say all the right things to get you in the mood. Here we go! Then feel the rush of air on your face as his balls fly aimlessly into the hands of a stranger in a Packers jersey. You see Michael Gallup do what he does best, standing there and watching. Don't just see Tony Pollard run full speed into the wrong hole. Feel it. See Micah Parsons held by 3 linemen, which is actually a good thing because the AI Micah Parsons Hungry Lion mode is still experimental and will eat more than ass. Touch the tip of Leighton Vander Esch's broken that he got while muff hunting in Siberia. Like Mike McCarthy eating his post-game Dairy Queen, with the Cowboy Dando, you too can taste defeat. So don't eat blue waffles when you can suck on the blue star. With the Cowboys Dando, you'll experience a whole year of action in one toy with not 1, not 2, but 3 special settings. Preseason hype, regular season teasing, and postseason devastation. But wait, there's more. If you order now, we'll add the law-breaking off-season mode for free while handcuffs last. The Cowboys Dando from PLD Inc. is full of proprietary technology. Not our proprietary technology. We stole it from the Titan submersible. So just like the Cowboys in the playoffs, it can implode at any time, sucking you into an oblivion worse than Caddyshack 2.
We just don't feel your bushwood material.
At PLD Inc., we're going all in with the Cowboys Dando.
I want me some glory hole.
We know what you're thinking. How many years and how much money can this meltdown of a device cost me? The Cowboys Dando can be yours for the ridiculous price of a franchise quarterback who can't do any better than Tony Romo. Let's go! And just so we can make one more Cowboys in the playoffs joke, the Cowboys Dando won't last long. So call now.
The Cowboys Dando is in no way, no how, not at all affiliated with the Dallas Cowboys, its trademarks, nor its actual official sponsors or broadcast partners. It would be more obscene than the Cowboys Dando to think otherwise. Please check with an official Dallas Cowboys team doctor before starting any new sexual regimen involving objects, real or imagined.
The Cowboys Dando. Unlike the Cowboys, this is a piece of chrome-plated hardware you can actually hoist at the end of the night. Another fine product from PLD Inc.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Very nice.
That was brilliant.
I'd like to say we'll call the official time 12:50 Central Standard Time, and we'll start the countdown clock to our cease and desist from the Dallas Cowboys. I also think my chances of ever hosting the pre-game, halftime, or post-game on the Dallas Cowboys radio network has now gone away.
Jeff K's breathing a little easier.
Not if he buys a Dando.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Planning for the future is challenging, and getting where you want to go in life requires strategies built around your unique financial needs. Alexander Financial Management is here to help you reach your goals. As fiduciaries, Alexander Financial Management will pursue the best solutions for you, no exception. While their decades of experience and service are available to everyone, Alexander Financial especially wants to help first responders and their families. The founder is a former police officer, and the executive team includes a retired fire captain and a retired police officer. Their extensive background in public service gives a deep understanding of the public retirement systems of Texas. So for retirement planning, investment strategies, life insurance, and estate planning, Alexander Financial Management has your back, so you can look forward. Get more info at alexfm.com. That's alexfm.com, and make sure and tell them you heard about it on the Treehouse. Investment advisory services offered through Transcend LLC, a registered investment advisor. TE3 and Alexander Financial are not affiliated entities. Insurance products and services are not offered through TE3, but are offered and sold through individually licensed and appointed agents.
214-368-3838. That's the phone number that you will need for any and all of those plumbing wants and needs from Brooks Plumbing. The website, brooksplumbingtexas.com. So let's get Jacqueline in here. Jacqueline, have you ever been accused of being a tattletale?
No, not really, because I'd say deep down inside, I really respect what I call the gangster codes. You just, I didn't see anything. I'm blind. But I will tell you, when it comes to construction, plumbing, and the business industry, I believe that a well-informed homeowner is dangerous in a good way. And so in early March, we're going to be recording a series of videos, and we're going to release probably a video a month, and it's going to teach homeowners how to decipher basically upselling and things that maybe aren't necessary, that are just made to make the contractor more money from, and being able to decipher that from what they actually need. So as an example, I harp on this all the time. You should not have to pay a monthly fee to a contractor to have the family pricing, member pricing. That $20 a month should not entitle you to a thousands of dollar discount. That thousands of dollar discount should be the contractor's actual price. So we're, doing away with the misnomer that to get the best price, you've got to have the membership. The membership is horse hockey. We're going to be kind of spilling the tea, as I like to call it, on everybody else in town.
Well, I'm here for it because she wants to help your plumbing wants and needs, not what's good for the bottom line of the company. So give them a call, 214-368-3838 and brooksplumbingtexas.com.
Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're listening to The Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of The Treehouse is brought to you by Brooks Plumbing. For any and all of your plumbing wants and needs, give Brooks Plumbing a call, 214-368-3838. That's 214-368-3838. The website, brooksplumbingtexas.com. Been about 4 minutes, and I've yet to receive the cease and desist from the Cowboys, so good on us. Be curious if Vegas would take bets on an over-under on that one. Anyway, there was let's see what today's the 12th, so that means you got 13, 14. So Wednesday is Valentine's Day. Yeah. Wednesday's Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is coming up. Raj, you're in a relationship. You have anything big planned for Valentine's Day?
We're doing it on the 13th because I will be in Austin on Valentine's Day, and then I'll be in San Antonio from the 15th to the 18th. The Improv
got stand-up shows, so you got to work. So you're getting Valentine's Day in early.
Yeah, so we're just gonna go for dinner, and I already bought the gifts ahead of time. So,
ooh, gifts.
Yes. Yes, multiple gifts.
Is it uncommon for you to work on Valentine's Day?
No, it's pretty common. Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, all that stuff. And
your most expensive date nights of the year, you magically are working.
Yeah, magically.
Yeah, it's I could say no to the gig, but I mean, I can
if you said no to the gig, then you wouldn't have money to get her gifts, plural.
Exactly. So I already bought roses. They're already here, and so they're beautiful. Orange roses. She got that. She got a couple of other really nice gifts, and then we're gonna do dinner, and then I will head out of town to go make money from other people enjoying their date night.
So,
Trey, for Valentine's Day, what are you and Daisy, your Chihuahua, doing?
So I'll probably cook a steak and I might give her a bite.
Yeah, one bite of steak to Daisy is like her trying to eat that old 96er in The Great Outdoors with John Candy.
Yeah. Well, that's a sweet date night. Yeah. And what do you have planned, Dan? Do you have a?
Oh, nothing. For many years I thought it was a trap when Tara told me she didn't like to do Valentine's Day stuff, and even back when she first mentioned it on our first Valentine's Day, I told myself I'm going to believe her. I believe that she is a woman of her word and that it's not some sort of manipulative trap like others on the show at the time tried to tell me that it was. And because then if it had been, then I would have been like, well, you said you didn't want anything and I took you at your word. So so your word's no good. But that wasn't the case. She actually really didn't like Valentine's Day. And so for what, about 15 years now, I've not had to worry about Valentine's Day once, and it's beautiful. And because of that, it's really like every day is Valentine's Day when you don't have to plan for one.
Jeez. Stop. Shut up. She's keeping track. You can say it all you want. You can
15 years. She's waiting to say something.
Yeah, that's it. And then on her episode of Betrayed on Investigation Discovery, when they're interviewing her in jail, she'll be like, "This is 17 years straight. He got me nothing, so I killed him." That's what's going to happen.
So when they interview her on this show, was she in prison, or because I never got her anything, the jury saw fit to let her go?
Oh, that's a good question. So this
Like,
could
is
be
she
like,
is she in one of those prison interview things with
yes.
glass and the phone, or is she on a sofa somewhere nice?
No, she's in person because it's a it's a medium security prison,
Okay.
right? So she's like in person, but she's still wearing the jumpsuit. But she's like
And
the guy.
they'll let her use utensils and things.
Yeah. And then what's his name from Dateline? We'll interview her. Keith Morrison. And it was like, and she'll explain why. She said it once. I don't like Valentine's Day, and she just tested you. And every year you got her nothing, and she put it in her murder book that she keeps
Just
under her
every
pillow.
year on the day, another tally.
And then she's like, it's 17 now, and he still hasn't bought me anything. So murder time. That's
I disagree with you, Raj. I don't think she's in prison. I think she's smarter than that. I think she knows she's just going to take Dan out. They're going to go for a hike.
Oh
air
yeah.
quotes,
Oh yeah.
and she's going to go, "Hey, he had a memory problem. He got lost. He couldn't find his way home. It happens on the islands all the time."
That makes so much more sense. The hiking thing, or she's gonna rent like a luxury boat.
Yeah,
And
a sailing trip for the day.
Yeah,
that's what I think it'll be. That actually happened here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's why I don't hike or go on boats. That's not ever going to happen to me.
So that's why you make sure your Valentine's Day stuff stays on flat land.
Well, I stay on flat land.
That's probably the smart way to go about it, Raj.
Yeah.
Just, for safety's sake. So of the gifts that you got your girlfriend, is one of them a hook to hang your laptop cord so you never lose it again? Or so she never misplaces it?
We have a bin now. So everything goes in the bin. The ring light, the mic, the headphones, the laptop cord, everything goes in that bin. And it's labeled Treehouse.
I love it.
So it won't happen again. I was going to text you like 3 minutes before the show and go, can't find my cord, just so you just so you would do that.
First of all, not funny. Second of all, too soon. So part of the reason I ask you guys about Valentine's Day is because did you hear? I'm not sure if you were listening during our commercial break. The spot I did with Kerry Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration, about the Pooh at the Zoo happening at the Fort Worth Zoo.
Boo at the zoo.
No. That's October. That's Halloween time. No.
Like Pooh at the Zoo, like Billy the Kid's sidekick.
I would go to that. I will go to that.
I tell you right now, if whoever the new promotions and marketing director is at iHeart DFW doesn't steal that, they need to be gone. And if need be, I will text Billy after the show and say we got a bit for you. In fact, I should probably do that and then tell him he can Venmo me money. No. So it's happened for years now. Around Valentine's Day, you'll have zoos around the country. They'll let you purchase or name for a donation. You can name a cockroach or a gross critter in sort of in remembrance of an ex or someone that did you wrong in love and life. Well, the Fort Worth Zoo has decided to up the ante a little bit for Valentine's Day. The zoo says the Fort Worth Zoo says for $10, they will symbolically dedicate a pound of zoo poo in the name of whomever you would like. It's part of the zoo's Do Some Good program. In addition to the dedication, you also get a special certificate to send to your not so special person to let them know exactly what you think of them. The donation goes to a good cause. It goes to care and feeding of the Fort Worth Zoo, 7,000 animals, which is brilliant because then that means they're well fed for next year when it's time to poo at the zoo again and bring in and shovel in more money.
Can they just call it the shit show? Can it?
That's one of the alternative names for this show.
Yeah, that's clever. Okay, good for them. I'm friends with every ex that I've ever had, so I wouldn't need it.
Why?
Why are we
How?
friends? Just
Thank you, Trey, for asking the most important questions.
yeah, I'm friends with. I just we're cool. It just didn't work out.
You know what, Trey? Somewhere right now, there are couches being lined up, waiting for the butts of Raj's ex-girlfriends to discuss all things Raj and relationships, and truly what sort of friendships they have.
I spoke to one of my exes the other day just to see how she got a new job. So I just was calling to see how the new job was working out.
Okay, wait, time out. Okay, besides the fact that like your ex-wife is your manager.
My agent.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
That manager is different than Agent Trey.
Yeah, I have a different manager, but yes, she's my agent. And then another one of my exes before her.
Well, hang on a second. So your ex-wife is your agent, right?
Yes.
And agents get a commission off of what you book, right?
Correct.
And is she also getting alimony? So she's double dipping you?
No, she's not. We have a very amicable divorce.
It's amicable because she gets a commission from what she books for you.
She gets 10%.
Yeah. But my current girl, she gets 10% every time I lose 20% of my money every time because I give 10% to my current girl.
What?
Yep. when I get paid.
you're only supposed to tithe to your church. You can't just keep throwing 10% around. Eventually you're going to run out.
Yeah. No, I just 10% to her, 10% to my agent, and then and that's it. But my the other ex before my ex-wife is out in Phoenix, and she just got a new job. So I was checking on her and seeing how her new job is going. The ex before that, she's a paralegal in Beverly Hills. So I talk to her on Facebook every now and again to see how she's doing. She's got a lovely new boyfriend, and they seem to be very, very happy. So
I don't know if you can see the look on Trey's face, but he looks like he's inhaling someone else's wet fart. Or maybe he's smelling what you're shoveling.
This is my poo at the zoo. Yeah, but so I keep in touch.
It's all just too much to believe.
It's 100%. It's 100% true. I wouldn't lie to you. Like,
Trey, are you friends with any of your exes?
Define friend.
Well, they haven't killed you yet.
And vice versa.
No Dateline episode.
Yeah, this feels like a natural spot. Oh, wait. Do you want to hear the Dando one more time? We still haven't gotten a cease and desist from the Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. One more time. In the Treehouse. The brand new, completely unofficial, totally unaffiliated with the Cowboys in every way. The Cowboys Dando.
Dallas Cowboys fans, it's time to ask yourselves a rock-hard question. Why stop at getting emotionally destroyed when you can get physically wrecked by dem boys? After a John Holmes-sized break, Pretty Little Dan Incorporated is back. And just like the back of the Bang bus, we are not alone. We have an exciting announcement. PLD Inc. is the very unofficial, totally unsanctioned, extremely unsanitary dildo company of the Dallas Cowboys. Yippee! That's right. We're expanding into the sports world because why should Taylor Swift and Oscar the Grouch have all the fun when the Cowboys were on the trash heap first? So slip into your favorite Debbie Does Dallas cosplay fit. Invite 31 strangers over wearing their official NFL team GIMP gear and brace yourself for a worse ass reaming than the Bills gave the Cowboys in Week 15. Introducing the Cowboys Dando. With the all-new Cowboys Dando, you're part of the action. Hear Dak Prescott say all the right things to get you in the mood.
Here we go!
Then feel the rush of air on your face as his balls fly aimlessly into the hands of a stranger in a Packers jersey. You see Michael Gallup do what he does best, standing there and watching, dick in hand. Don't just see Tony Pollard run full speed into the wrong hole. Feel it. See Micah Parsons held by 3 linemen, which is actually a good thing because the AI Micah Parsons Hungry Lion mode is still experimental and will eat more than ass. Touch the tip of Leighton Vander Esch's broken neck that he got while muff hunting in Siberia. Like Mike McCarthy eating his post-game Dairy Queen, with the Cowboy Dando, you too can taste defeat. So don't eat blue waffles when you can suck on the blue star. With the Cowboys Dando, you'll experience a whole year of action in one toy with not 1, not 2, but 3 special settings. Preseason hype, regular season teasing, and postseason devastation. But wait, there's more. If you order now, we'll add the law-breaking off-season mode for free. While handcuffs last. The Cowboys Dando from PLD Inc. is full of proprietary technology. Not our proprietary technology. We stole it from the Titan submersible. So just like the Cowboys in the playoffs, it can implode at any time, sucking you into an oblivion worse than Caddyshack 2.
We just don't feel your bushwood material.
At PLD Inc., we're going all in with the Cowboys Dando.
I want me some glory hole.
We know what you're thinking. How many years and how much money can this meltdown of a device cost me? Price of a franchise quarterback who can't do any better than Tony Romo.
Let's go!
And just so we can make one more Cowboys in the playoffs joke, the Cowboys Dando won't last long. So call now.
The Cowboys Dando is in no way, no how, not at all affiliated with the Dallas Cowboys, its trademarks, nor its actual official sponsors or broadcast partners. It would be more obscene than the Cowboys Dando to think otherwise. Please check with an official Dallas Cowboys team doctor before starting any new sexual regimen involving objects, real or imagined.
The Cowboys Dando. Unlike the Cowboys, this is a piece of chrome-plated hardware you can actually hoist at the end of the night. Another fine product from PLD Inc.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Oh,
It's the best. That's the best.
this was fun.
This was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss seeing your guys' faces live. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna see it again on Wednesday, and we're gonna do some stuff. Then we're gonna Raj are on Friday's episode of the Treehouse.
Mhm.
Brad Williams, right?
That's right. That is right. That is correct. He's going to be performing at the Majestic on Saturday. I was supposed to be with him, but I will unfortunately not. I'll be in San Antonio. But the reason I was supposed to be on the show with him at the Majestic, but they were going to plan like shoulder surgery from the car accident, but they postponed it. But I already canceled. But he's more than happy when I messaged him. He said absolutely would love to do the show, and so he will be on.
That is awesome. I'm looking forward to asking what he's doing for Valentine's Day.
And then I did speak to. I know we were supposed to have Tone on last week, and I did speak to him.
Oh, you did?
I did, and I asked him where
Speaking
he was.
of, you did mention earlier that he's good at skating. Turns out he's really good at skating me.
Well, he had a very good reason, and I was like, oh, completely understand.
Yeah, his neighbor got him drunk.
Yes, he had 3 bottles of wine the night before. So, yeah.
So I guess he and his neighbor Jerry did their Valentine's celebration early.
Old guy smart. Couple bottles of wine at home.
Next thing you know, Tone's rolling around in the living room wearing skates. He got his own personal halftime show.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for hanging out inside the Treehouse with us today for our very first Treehouse Live episode. The episode in its normal form will still, as long as everything goes according to plan, release later on today, just in time for your drive home. Of course, if you're listening on your drive home, you already know that, but either way, Thanks for tuning in as always. We'll see you next time right here inside the Treehouse. And happy Valentine's Day.